Imagine that you're an old school tabletop role-playing game player, dungeon master, whatever you call yourself. And you come out and you tell people, experience doesn't matter. You're only as good as your last session. Are you telling me that somebody who's only maybe ran the game for about a year or a few months can pick up all the knowledge that somebody would pick up after playing for 10 years with multiple different people? Are you telling me we can be on the same level? Know all the same things? That the experience doesn't matter. Only my last session matters. The decades in the hobby mean nothing. The decades and numerous amounts of games and all the different people you had the experience with, you're not learning stuff that, are you telling me that somebody that can get in the hobby for a few months, they can just pick up all that? Right? So the experience doesn't matter, and then only their last session really does? Because that's the only way that would work. You'd have to devalue the experience. Say that it brings you nothing. Well, then your last session really does count as the important detail. Well, if not, even if you drop the ball in the last session, if experience matters, it doesn't matter that you had a bad session. The experience overall is going to be important for all the sessions going forward, and the many good sessions you had before you dropped the ball. So your last session means nothing. It doesn't matter what happens in the last session. It's what you do going forward that matters. And if you carry a bunch of experience with you, that journey is going to be different. It could be better in many ways, right? It's going to be an overall different experience than somebody who right now might be only in the first year of what they're doing. So experience does matter, and it matters more than your last session. It is one thing if the statement is coming from a nobody, somebody who doesn't have much influence. But imagine if you looked at the old school part of the tabletop role-playing game hobby online, and the person making the statement is somebody who's prominent in that section. Like they have a decently, large following. Not a massive one, don't get me wrong, it's no Matt Colville. But they definitely have influence. They have sway, and here they are telling new players coming into the hobby and other people that experience in what you're doing doesn't matter. Only your last session matters. Like, I get maybe if you're not thinking about it, that sounds like an intelligent statement. Maybe. But the second you think about it, you realize that is one of the dumbest fucking statements you could ever make. Ever. And it shows a lack of wisdom. And to me, it shows that you're probably deceitful. Because you probably haven't not thought it over. Obviously you haven't. You're saying it to sound intelligent. Because maybe you think it sounds intelligent. But no, experience does matter more than your last session. There's all kinds of sessions where you fall on your face or you do really good. That experience is always going to be important no matter what, right? You can always recover from a bad session, but you can't just pick up 10 years of experience in a few months. So that's why the experience overall is always going to be more valuable than just some random session within all the sessions that you're playing or running. Now imagine that me, Condor DM, I talk about my experience in the hobby in some of my videos. I talk about the importance of experience in the hobby. Now, imagine you want to bring me down. You want to degrade what I'm saying. You want to say that my experience means nothing. So you make this really unwise statement in a desperate attempt to bring me down, to degrade me. But of course, you haven't thought it over. And it's a very unwise statement the second anyone examines what you've said. Do you know what I call that? Condor DM derangement syndrome. Where I say something and people are desperate to bring me down for whatever reason. They're mad at me for something else I said. And they'll make this desperate, effort to come up with something to degrade me. Only to end up being foolish because what they're saying is going to be wrong. And they're going to hear that from other people. They're probably going to hear it from me. And then they're going to look like idiots. And that person better hope that you don't figure out who it is, right? Because I'm not going to give a name. But I am going to give a response because I want to make this clear. This might be an individual that triggered this video, but he's not the first person to say this. So I am responding to the variety of people that have this opinion. So I know many people will think this video might be targeted at them because they have the opinion I'm speaking about. Yeah. Anyway, for now, take care. You know what you can do? You can hit the like button. You can share the video. Oh, and there's another button you can press. That one that lets you subscribe to my channel for more content. Oh yeah, there's that bell thing. You can press that so you know when I've uploaded a new video right away.